Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43, and tonight we are taking our very first look at the brand new Tier 8 American Premium Light Cruiser Vallejo, or Vallejo, depending on who you talk to. Anyway, with that being said, let's look at our commander. We're running Norman Scott with Nikolai Kuznetsov and Francesco Mimbelli. We are running Beyond Range, Igniter, Punch Through, Fixated, and Refill Station. Could go fully packed because these heals and reload boosters are very nice. It's up to you. That would actually be a pretty good idea, I think. But I just used my standard loadout for my light cruisers. I didn't try changing anything. Alright. Upgrades. I'm running the AA Guns Mod 2 in the first slot to get a little bit extra range on the AA. We also have the Steering Gears Mod 2, Concealment System Mod, and we are running the Main Battery Mod 3 with the Epic Main Battery Mod. So for every 30,000 damage we do, we get a little bit faster reload. Alright, one of the biggest things on this thing, you do have defensive AA, but you also get a main battery reload booster, which is kind of fun. It leads to some pretty large burst damage during a match if you get a chance to really take advantage of it, which we will get to showcase in a little bit. But yeah, we do normally run the Italian Unity flag because if you squint just right, it looks like a Spartan helmet. For specs, survivability 44,000 hit points, which is pretty low. It's not a lot of hit points. But you do have super heals, which is nice, so you can heal a lot back, and you're gonna need that because this thing is squishy as all get out. Artillery, 152mm Mark 16 guns. You get 10 of them, reaching out to just about 18 kilometers with this build. Reload in 4.8 seconds. 180 degree turn time is 8.5 seconds. AP shell maximum damage 3520 with an SAP second shell, which is 3500 maximum SAP damage. Now I run SAP 90% of the time on this thing. If you get a full broadside or cruiser broadside to shoot at, definitely switch over to the AP. But other than that, just stick to the SAP. AA defense is pretty solid. 20mm Oerlikon Mark 20s. You get 24 of those doing 65 damage per second, but only out to 2.4 kilometers. The rest of the AA, however, is pretty disgusting. 76.2mm Mark 33s. You get 22 of those doing 307 damage per second, reaching out to 6 kilometers. And then the 152mm Mark 16 dual-purpose main batteries. You get 10 of those doing 64 damage per second, which sounds really stupid. I don't understand how that can be so low, considering these are a dual-purpose main gun, but I guess whatever. 7.2 kilometers is the range on that. I guess because we don't have, I don't know. I don't know why it's so low. I'll be real honest. Maximum speed, 32.5 knots. Turning circle on this thing is terrible. 740 meters for a cruiser is awful. Rudder shift time is 6.7. You could... I mean, that's with me adding a rudder onto the ship, so there's that. And then concealment. Detectability by sea is 10.8. Detectability by air is 9.9. Guaranteed is always 2 and 6.3 kilometer detectability while firing in smoke. Statistics, it's probably going to be pretty average. Well, it says I got an 80% win rate in this thing, but it's just been a bunch of raffle stomps tonight, so hadn't had a whole lot of chances to do a lot of damage or anything like that. Just kind of took the ship out, got to play around with it a little bit, and overall it's been okay. Armor, you don't really have any armor. This thing just gets destroyed from all angles. The front is 25 millimeters, meaning anything 15 inches and above. So basically, any battleship that you come up against is going to slap right through your bow, and it's bad. The rest of your armor is just as bad. So, lovely. And then what you thought was an armor belt's actually your raised citadel, meaning that when they do overmatch your bow, they can just citadel you straight through the bow. And then also, Anybody that catches you over angled at all, they're just gonna go straight through and citadel you from the side. This thing just eats citadels from every conceivable angle. It's like a Worcester, except it doesn't have armor. It's great. Overview. Reloader, above average main battery reload speed. Agile, above average ability to change direction. Really. Really. Even with... Okay. I'm sorry, Wargaming, you guys are on crack half the time. Let's just look at this. Alright. This is with a freaking steering gear on. And it's 6.7 seconds. Keep that in mind. Agile. Uh-huh. Nimble aim, above average main battery traverse speed. Vallejo, or Vallejo, a project variant that preceded the creation of the Worcester class. Her main armament comprises 10 6-inch 152mm dual-purpose guns housed in 5 turrets. Year of design 1941. I don't think I actually showed you guys what I was running in terms of my loadout, did I? No, I did. I totally did. I'm not stupid. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm still sick. I'm all over the place, so I apologize. But yeah, let's take a look at the ship, and then we'll get to the gameplay. I mean, it's a mid. I don't know what I'm saying. Screw it. We'll do it live. I'm sorry, guys. I'm miserable. But yeah, it's an okay looking cruiser. It's a little boxy, but I've seen worse. But with that being said, let's get to the gameplay. Alrighty, so we're going to be on Haven, and we are in the brand new Vallejo. I'm just going to call it the Vallejo because it's easier for me to say. I know it can be said Vallejo or Vallejo. Whichever way you want to hear it, that's fine with me. But, anyway, in my experience with this ship so far, it's been pretty solid. It's a nice light cruiser. The only downside to this thing is how squishy it is. So you definitely want to avoid direct conflict if you can. But it's got the super heal to kind of bail you out from making some big mistakes. So there's at least that. Now, we are going to try to use the islands early in the match, and then we're failing miserably. And then we're going to just DPM the snot out of everything. That is our goal. Anytime you're going to be in one of these light cruisers like this, I mean, your goal is simple. Just keep the guns going. Just all the DACA, right? Like, the more DACA that you put down range, the better you're going to have a game. There really isn't a lot of thought that has to go into cruiser play. A little bit more thought for SAP because you got to aim for superstructure or like lighter armored areas. You can see I am trying to dodge the rounds coming from the right. Knew those guys were there because they spawned there now. So we just got to pay attention. If you're going to be the first thing spotted, anticipate getting shot at. I know, it's crazy concept, but you can see I get out of the range of my refill station procking. If you're within a certain range of your teammates, then refill station extends the range of your main guns. So this Yama is not the brightest in the world, but then again, is there ever any bright Yamas out there? I feel like the Yama players on average are just not smart. And that's why I made the video, don't be a Yamater, because, I mean, we see so many of them. But you can see I am detected. We know there's a destroyer in the Charlie Cap. We're trying to dodge the rounds from the Yama. Trying to get skinny and slowing down. He gets one overpin in the superstructure. And we're just going to keep him spotted and keep DACAing away, right? Now, as we turn back towards the island to try to get back behind the island, because again, I don't want to sit here forever. Like every time we take chances with getting shot at, it's potential disaster waiting to happen. And so we want to get behind the island. Unfortunately, we do get detected here. But we get behind the island enough to where we're no longer detected, and now we get to DACA away without really any repercussions, which is the best kind of DACA, if you ask me. And I think most cruiser players would agree. You get to sit there behind an island and just DPM the snot out of whatever's out in front of you. I feel like you're probably going to have a fun time. Now, personally, this is not my style gameplay. You guys know that. I much prefer a more aggressive cruiser. You can see there's actually cruisers sneaking around the corner behind me, and it's the Des Moines. Our Yama is full broadside to that Des Moines and is probably getting beat on, which is why he's not shooting me. But we're going to go ahead and start rotating the guns around to the left side, and he's going to try to back off, and we're going to just go ahead and start the DACA process using our first reload booster here, getting all guns on the target. And you can see he tries to get behind the island. We're just going to cheese him by shooting his superstructure here. It's going to take a little bit of time as the Yama goes straight through his bow, and yeah, he's done. There's nothing he can do about this. Each one of these SAP rounds touching his superstructure is going to do pretty decent damage. And so he can't really get away from it. And we take down a Des Moines.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
Salem is a little bit too far away. And that's the other thing about these light cruisers. They have such great firing arcs, but hitting anything that's somewhat agile at any sort of range is darn near impossible. So you're going to focus mainly on close quarters with cruisers, or ranging battleships. Like you're not going to really mess around too much with anything else. You don't really have any tools to hunt destroyers, so hunting destroyers isn't necessarily one of your priorities in the ship, even though you do have SAP that's really, really nasty at killing destroyers. If you're in a division and one of you bring a radar, that's a different story. But yeah, otherwise, your best bet is to simply just try to focus down battleships, and we're going to do this Louisiana dirty. Yesterday was all about the Louisiana and showcasing just how disgusting that ship can be in the right hands, and this match is going to be the opposite. This is going to be showcasing the weakness of the Louisiana when it's in the wrong hands. And this fella, yeah, no. Just no. That's all we can say, just no. Again, I do apologize for my voice. Trust me, it hurts me just as much as it hurts you guys. But I'm trying. I'm trying to get these videos out there for you guys so that you guys have some good entertaining videos and good insight into the ships that you're thinking about spending money on. But as we push in on these guys, we're keeping an eye on the Burgoyne. We have the Louisiana thinking about pushing out. We're going to go ahead and start aiming over the island here. We are about to get our next reload booster online, and it couldn't have come at a better time. This Louisiana is going to make the classic mistake of just ignoring the cruiser and going for the Yama. Yama seems like the bigger threat in this case, but honestly, I'm the bigger threat here. That Yama can do potential damage. I'm going to do damage. Like, there's nothing this man can do. And you can see, I've already done more damage than that Yama just did with his salvo. And now we've got our reload booster going, and look at this man's health. Now, he does take a shot at us here, and we take no damage because he ends up having all of his shells fall short. But, yeah, just a prime example of, like, people discounting the cruiser. Cruisers have the highest DPM in the game. I don't know what else I need to say to let people know, like, cruisers are a bigger threat than people give them credit for. That's why most battleships target cruisers right at the beginning when they get a chance, is because if you can stop a cruiser from becoming, like, nasty, like, you're doing your team a favor. First of all, cruisers are very good at killing destroyers, right? So if you can get rid of cruisers, usually you're helping your destroyers. But on top of that, you've got to think about the fact that, like, if you're in a DPM fight with a cruiser, you're going to lose. Now, obviously, you've always got that alpha strike potential, and you can see at this Burgoyne, I can see his guns turning, so I know he's not AFK. We put a nasty salvo of SAP into a superstructure, and I immediately go bow in. Now, this guy definitely overmatches me, but I was hoping that this guy was just giving up. And as soon as I open the angle, he lets me know he's not giving up. So, screw you, I'm going full on. We go to load up the AP, and that's when everybody slaps him, and it's like, really? Really? Can't just let me have this one, huh, fellas? Really? But we did everything we could in this one. 140,000 damage, 3 kills. I mean, it's a light cruiser. It's got SAP. It's a fun little light cruiser, but it is squishy as all get out, so got to try to avoid taking those hits whenever possible. But second on the team, 2,200 base XP. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video. Happy Independence Day out there, Americans. Much love. Be safe.